Hi everyone. Hello everyone. I am back with my friend and co-host Avi. It is currently at the time of this recording November of 2023. And in this this movie discussion, we're going to be talking about Home Alone 2, Lost in New York from 1992. And before I hand it over for Avi's initial opening thoughts, I just want to say a few things. Number one, in recent updated version cuts of this movie, some people have decided to cut out, delete, or remove Donald Trump from that hotel scene. And I don't think that's right. Whether you hate the guy or you love the guy, I don't think that kind of stuff should happen in products that are coming out. I can compare it similar to, say, like in the Thanksgiving movie with Steve Martin. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Say if you cut out his scene where he said the F word to the person in that one scene, then that would totally not make the movie the same. Similar to cursing that's in song lyrics, and also similar to, say, if you took out the nudity out of movies that had nudity in it. With all these type of things, it's not right, and I don't like censorship. And even if you hate the guy, I still think, he made sure that they could still use his hotel that he owned at that time. So, and the second thing is, I consider Home Alone 2 Lost in New York canon, but I don't think anything that happened after 2 is canon, similar how I think about nothing after Terminator 2 is canon. So there's Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2, and that was it. And then Terminator 1 and 2, and that was it. And then the third thing I want to say before I bring it over to Avi is, in the description box of this movie discussion podcast, I will link for you me doing Home Alone quotes from the beginning of my Rumble channel. It'll be the top first link. And then right below that will be my Home Alone 2 Lost in New York movie review on my Spotify podcast from last year before I stopped doing the Spotify podcasts. And now that we're a little over 2 minutes in and I had those first three things said, Avi, welcome back. What are your opening thoughts to Home Alone 2 and what it means to you?
Well, even though it's not that very embarrassing than the first movie about, even sometimes, but even it's almost copycatting the first movie, it's called homage, but this time he's with the family, but he accidentally got into a wrong flight about someone who looks like his father, but only in his backside. And also sometimes there's a very weird thing about every holiday goes to if you go to Florida, but even I thought I liked that you go to other places going to holidays, if not for Florida, besides New York, or why not we go to Philadelphia? I know about even sometimes New York is a very big place to travel to a lot, but you don't want to get lost or separated.
Right. One thing I just want to say, since you mentioned the dad, the actor that played the dad unfortunately passed away in real life.
Yeah, John Hurd.
Yes.
And also with the Tom Hanks movie, it's Big, and
oh, okay, that also, okay.
And also that same year as Big, is he also stars with Ben Midler and Beaches.
Oh, okay, so you know all these other things that he's in, okay. Now, what were you trying to say?
He also is with Catherine O'Hara in the Martin Scorsese movie, After Hours.
Oh, that movie also? Okay, so you know him from all kinds of different movies, lots of them, okay. Now, what were you saying about Philadelphia?
Philadelphia, I thought it's a good place to go to, for you go to Liberty Bell or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to go to Florida. But I believe in the first one they went to what?
Florida is the warmest place.
Oh, okay, because it's warm in Florida, right? So in the first one they go to France, right? France, right?
France, yeah.
Okay.
Even the first movie they do stock footage of the outside of France, but mostly they still filmed it in Chicago. Okay. Because that's John Hughes.
Right.
John Hughes is a producer and writer. He's very native to Chicago.
Right. Well, that's true. I agree with what you said about how parts of it is like a carbon copy of the first movie. They were trying to repeat things from the first movie that were successful, and then try to do a sequel, second spin of certain copies of certain parts of it.
Right. And you know about what funny thing about they use fictional device that you have to use in real life. Recording device.
Oh, we're talking about the talkback device, right?
Yeah, it's something you could do something, a spy stuff, the mimicking a voice and copying, even it's not like a camera thing. It's not look like a camera.
Yeah. Well, I like that device. It was made specifically for the movie, and I think they tried to sell it for people for the movie, for selling products about that with the movie. And it's just like such a cool little neat device that he got to use, and he did get to keep that after the movie was over.
Yeah, even like the one he used about fooling in the hotel, like you want to get to
Right, I like how he in the hotel. I liked how he used it to do the voice to be
voice, like,
the voice thing for the hotel. Yeah,
something like if you're like some kind of surveillance tape, you have to rewind your tape and lower it. The sound.
Yeah. Speaking of the hotel, I do like I like the parts where Rob Schneider's in it.
Rob Schneider's
Rob Schneider's in this.
Tim Curry.
He plays. Yeah, then Tim Curry plays like the bad guy of it. Well, the side extra bad guy, because they bring back the original bad guys from the first movie. They escape prison and come into New York also. How convenient.
They unexpectedly. They cap out. But even they still plan to go do the robbery about that time they go rob the toy store.
Right, yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the toy store now. What did you think about the whole toy store?
The toy store is very fun. It reminds me when I was young about it was only during that holiday time nearby Springfield, PA, where I go past where my grandmother on my dad's side. There used to be, before Walmart, there used to be like a mall type of there's a big box, you can crank it up. It's like not like a Jack in the Box type, but it's automatic. It opens up and then comes slowly rising as a tin soldier.
Okay, yeah. There was a lot going on with the whole toy store, and then also at one point Kevin was talking to the toy store owner a little bit, and that's where you got the doves and stuff.
The turtle doves.
Yeah, and this being the turtle, and this being a carbon almost copy of the first movie in a lot of aspects of ways. They have the pigeon lady is supposed to be a take off of the old guy from the first movie.
Yeah, the old man Marley.
Yeah.
Even if you always compare with the pigeon.
Yeah.
It's almost like it reminds me like you saw Mary Poppins, but you said you don't see Mary Poppins.
I honestly never got into Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins has a good scene about Mary Poppins. The pigeon lady lives on the steps on the St. Cathedral in London.
Oh, okay.
The bird tuppence a bag.
All right. See, well, as far as the last and only thing I can say about Mary, what's that saying?
It's like a very homage to all the films.
Oh, okay. Well, the only thing I can say about Mary Poppins that I know for sure is I didn't see one or the second one that came out way later, but about the second one, I have to say Emily Blunt. Yeah. Emily Blunt is a very attractive woman.
Yeah. And Mary Poppins is actually based on the book series.
Oh, sure, that's no surprise. A lot of things are. Yeah. It's cool. That's cool about that other stuff. The other thing I wanted to say about this movie, similar to a lot of second movies in the series, is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, is a lot darker than the first movie. Yeah, because
in the second half, he looks at the phone book. He actually took Dad's bag. In the phone book, he has other relatives in New York. But even when we find the address, but it's been abandoned.
Yeah, they're conveniently the family's conveniently not in the building house. Yeah.
Yeah, the building's got condemned or something.
Yeah. And then what else?
The second half, it reminds me when he goes to the dark street. It's like you're watching all the series of Law and Order about because New York is very like a murders.
Right, exactly. The other thing I wanted to say that repeated in a cool way to bring back was, you know how in the first movie Kevin's in his house is watching that little black and white gangster movie? Yeah. They bring back a sequel for it, and a sequel black and white gangster.
An actor plays who plays some kind of gangster and find out that she betrayed him about my Tommy gun done.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
To fool the staff of the hotel, but they found out that Kevin is a fraud. It took someone's credit.
Right, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, before we started this, I went on the IMDb page just to get an idea of some things about the movie. It said this is the only Home Alone movie that has a gun in it, which also makes it darker. I don't know who's holding the gun.
They tried to kill him.
Right. Yeah. Someone was holding a gun during it. Yeah. And also I like that this basically brings back, I believe, all the family from the first movie, unless they forgot one or two people, but the majority of his family from the first movie all comes back for the second movie.
Yeah.
And that's why for me, in my third thing, that's why I said that to me, Home Alone 2 is a direct, interesting sequel to come right after the first one or 2 years later. But to me, it ends at the end of Home Alone 2, and at the end, just like it ends at the end of Terminator 2. So to me, there was no more sequels after Home Alone 2 or Terminator 2, in my personal opinion.
Well, You know the sad thing about the actor who plays Buzz, about David Redtrade?
Yeah, what's sad about it?
He recently got convicted about assaulting women. But last time I saw him since 2021 or 22. It's a movie that takes place during COVID time called Kimmy.
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with Kimmy, and I'm not familiar with what he may have done. Hopefully he didn't really do that. If that was the case.
Yeah, and sometimes I want to find out all the cast who's been involved after Home Alone. Yeah, before Home Alone or afterwards.
Yeah.
Sometimes they end up in casting in TV shows or guest stars.
I'm sure you know all the shows they're all on.
Do you know Macaulay Culkin's first acting role is not Uncle Buck or first Home Alone? His first acting role is 1988 with Burt Lancaster in his penultimate film called Rocket Gibraltar.
I did not know that. I didn't know that.
It's
I knew there was something going.
It's a family drama.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I know there was something going on with Uncle Buck thing, but yeah, say that again. Where was he from and what was it?
His very first movie is before Uncle Buck and Home Alone. 1988 is called Rocket Gibraltar, where Burt Lancaster, the classic actor, plays a grandfather to him.
Oh, okay. Was that a good movie?
It's a good movie, but never understand the ending. Yeah?
Oh well, try what was happening with the ending?
Well, I hope I don't want to give spoiler alerts about the, because even though Macaulay Culkin and
Try not to try to explain it, but try not to spoil it.
Because even though Macaulay, there's another actress, a child actress, who's also worked with Home Alone plays another sister.
Okay. So what is the movie about exactly, and what was the ending like?
Well, the movie is about the family reunion. They come for the summertime in some kind of New England stuff about the. Sometimes it has kind of little secrets about why they had a little difficulty.
How is Macaulay Culkin's performance in it?
It's very, very cute.
Okay.
Not very a very bratty boy than the Home Alone or the.
Right.
After Home Alone, he stars in Richie Rich.
Yeah, I know about Richie Rich. And then even before Richie Rich, he stars in that movie where he wants to kill his cousin.
Yeah, the
good son, yeah.
Yeah. And also, he does his own animated film. First half is live action, then he has his own cartoon,
What was that called?
Master.
What was it called?
Page Master.
The what?
Page Master.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one too. I heard about that one. I just wasn't familiar with the Burt Lancaster one.
Burt Lancaster. That's the Macaulay Culkin first film.
And as far as who plays his mom, it looks like we're excited. His mom should be back, I believe, hopefully for Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah. And recently she stars in the Kevin Hart commercial for a holiday break.
Oh yeah, I seen that commercial.
Mistaken Kevin.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw that commercial. It's yeah. I know the Kevin Hart commercial. I've seen it. Yeah.
Too bad they don't have the Macaulay Culkin growing up thing about
Yeah.
Even recently Macaulay Culkin recently stars in guest starred in the TV series American Horror Story.
Oh, okay, I'm not too familiar with American Horror Story. Okay.
Seasons. He plays now and grows up.
So also for the research of this movie before we started, it said that Macaulay Culkin lived in New York at some time. At some point he lived in New York. For his real life, as a real life person, as a real life person lived in New York. But before we get too far sidetracked on other parts of other movies and stuff, what else? What are your other thoughts and opinions about Home Alone 2 Lost in New York?
How many times every person can say Merry Christmas? Is it 24 times or something, or 30?
Who said what? Merry Christmas was said a lot.
Yeah, Merry Christmas this and Merry Christmas that. It's some kind of how many times they had to say that word.
Oh, okay, interesting. So the beginning of the movie, they're still home. They're going to a school for a play or something.
About choir.
Yeah, the choir play thing, and then his older brother was picking on him. And then after it all of course is Kevin's fault. He goes all the way up to the top of the house to sleep in that house. Again, or something, or some other part of the house where he's away from everybody. And then this time they want to make sure that the family still goes with him out when they go out the next day. So he actually is counted with everybody to go out wherever they go to. But then, like you said, that he follows what he thinks is his dad, and he goes into the wrong part of an airport.
Yeah. And who makes a surprising cameo? When Macaulay Culkin realized he took the wrong flight to New York.
Ali Sheedy was
in it.
Yeah.
She works with John Hughes before in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I saw that she reminded me in the research of the page before we started that she plays the air person there for that. And yeah, she was of course in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Because this is all like a John like a John Hughes project,
John
right?
Hughes movie about
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though in the past John Hughes always known make it a teen films before now he wants to transfer to
Right.
making kiddies movies.
Right, exactly. Now, do you actually have any interest in having ever watched anything past Home Alone 2, or what's your thoughts of when the series kind of really ended?
Well, sometimes I'm a very religious guy, but I'm not getting involved with anything about watching a Christmas
Right,
movie.
me neither.
A little bit, just a
Yeah.
little bit, just observing one time.
So, like to me, it ended at the end of Home Alone 2, and that was it. There weren't all those things that came after it to me.
Yeah, even sometimes like I'm not a fan of John Hughes movies.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes the parents are very uncaring or unwatchful. It's like
Yeah.
imagine about like what happens if Macaulay Culkin instead of being all by himself defending a criminal, just like that same year as Home Alone is Goodfellas. What if the boy actually end up joining with the gangster?
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I don't usually do too many Christmas movies. Also outside of this one, I think I've actually saw. I think if I remember correctly, I think I saw Home Alone 2: Lost in New York back in 1992 with my dad and my sister. So.
Yeah.
And yeah, I always like that talkback device. But what other parts of the movie have we yet or haven't yet already talked about?
Like even about the one when he meets with the bird lady on top of the symphony hall. About do you know who plays the conductor of the conducting music at the concert?
Who plays that?
John Williams.
Oh, really?
He also composed that movie. He also composed that movie. Also.
Wait, is he physically seen there? Also, I know he composes the music, but
He's only in the back of it when he does holding a baton.
oh,
in
nice,
the back of it.
nice. That's good. That's nice. Yeah. Also, it said Macaulay Culkin, who however old he was at the time, got like 4.5 million for it or something.
What?
His salary to come back for the second one, Macaulay Culkin. The kid has like 11 or 12 years old. He got paid like 4.5 million for this.
So like a salary?
Yeah, salary. Yeah. It was the most money spent on a young kid actor ever at the time.
I don't know. Not even like if you're like a big if you're like how about how many you want to spend it after he gets.
Yeah. The other thing I remember is at the time of seeing that movie around there, they would show also a preview for the that environment animated movie, whatever that was called, Ferngully or something.
For that same year, Ferngully.
Yeah, Ferngully. Yeah.
Also, Tim Curry was voice acting in Ferngully.
Right.
As Hexus.
Right. Oh, who else? What was it?
Tim Curry.
Oh, Tim Curry with that, playing the bad guy, part of the bad guy in the movie. Well, the hotel bad guy. The other thing I want to say about Macaulay Culkin was after 1994 movies, he didn't come back to do acting again until like 2003.
He wanted to take a big break.
He took a big break and then he didn't come back till like 2003.
That's happened to every child actor. He thought he wants to retire.
Yeah.
He was taking very too exploitative for a child actor, being like harmful.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what becomes like Kiyoy Kwan, the child actor from the 80s. He now got his comeback in the
the comeback with that movie, that movie from that movie there, 2022 movie,
yeah.
right?
Which what someday everything I wish for, like a dream, like for a dream casting. What happens about if you want as people we know about a child actor have been forgotten that once it came back as the back of the like at a comic convention, if he wants to be like a major TV show.
I'm sorry, wait, which child star are we talking about now?
Like, besides Kiyoy Kwan, what if someday not child star, but one surpassed 80 stars?
Well, give an example of a few that you want to have come back.
Like Molly Ringwald.
Oh, okay. I wonder what she's doing these days.
Well, recently now she did make a special appearance on the FX comedy drama series called The Bear.
Okay.
But now she does a supporting role in the Netflix limited series about the serial killer, about the one about the Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not my type of material, yeah. I don't like things like that.
Emmy nominated.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. So Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Did you want to talk more about the hotel, or what else do you want to talk about?
What I like about hotel, about something he wants about taking over the room suites. It's very funny part about he doesn't know which size he wants to go swimming, yeah?
Oh, right, the swimming. He said he lost his swim trunks.
Yeah, and the funny part is he fooled Tim Curry about if he's a decent. So he used that clown balloon clown about to make a recording of his uncle in the shower.
Right, exactly, the shower thing there. And then that kind of is like similar in that, didn't he play the clown in that movie, the horror movie? He played the clown?
Yeah, It.
The It, he played the clown, yeah, and then he played that, he played the clown there, and then he was possibly one of the choices for Joker, but didn't end up being Joker.
In the past, his breakout was Rocky Horror Picture
Show. Oh yeah,
Show.
the Rocky Horror Picture Show from 1975.
Sometimes he's a musical stars, but mostly now he does voice acting. Yeah?
Right, that's right.
Right, and so also about a good thing about the Home Alone 2 about the funny thing of now that changed his character. The Daniel Stern about the Marv about the first movie. He's very not very comedic. But now he's very dim-witted. Now the second one, he's now changed it to very dim-witted.
Well, Marv was still a bit dim-witted in the first one, also actually.
I know, but a little bit not very stupid.
I like in this one, in Home Alone 2, when they're stealing from the store or something, he says, he mentions Hanukkah, so you find out he's Jewish.
Happy Hanukkah Marv.
Happy Hanukkah Marv, he's Jewish.
This is a movie that they want to talk about many Christmas. Why not Hanukkah joke?
Right, exactly.
He's Jewish.
Right, exactly. Well, if anybody's interested, I recommend the Hanukkah Christmas holiday movie from 2003 that was on Comedy Central. It's called The Hebrew Hammer with Adam Goldberg and the actress that's in those Halloween reboot movies.
Yeah, and she's in also what's the sometimes I forgot her name, but she's also in the movie about Jurassic World.
Yeah. She's in a lot of stuff. Right. Yeah.
Also, I like about the director's daughter, Chris Columbus. He has a daughter and makes a cameo for just a bit part in the toy store.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me that also happened.
She recently stars in Harry. You don't see it. She's in stars in director's film, Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone. Plays one of the students called Susan Bones.
Oh, that's interesting.
The director's daughter's appearance.
Oh wow, interesting. Now back to the composing for a sec. John Williams. How old is he currently, and is he ever deciding to retire?
92, he's in the 90s now.
Somewhere in the 90s, and is he ever going to retire? And
well, after the fifth Indiana Jones, he planned to retire.
Oh, he was planning to. Okay. Speaking of which, again, back to the actor that won the 2022 that played the sidekick in Temple of Doom. Do you think that maybe they should have had him as an adult come back to Indiana Jones 5? Or that would
they want to make a new series, a TV series.
Well, it's rumored that the girl is going to take over, and honestly, I didn't even see that fifth movie. I think you may have, but yeah, she totally ruined that for a lot of people, including myself.
Right. Yeah, back with the Home Alone 2.
Yeah, back to Home
Alone. The funny part is for more about Marv, he's always comic jokes about then you started his hands very sticky. He took something away from.
Right, he was wet bandaged in the first one, sticky in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes funny part is they use more special traps about.
Yeah, the traps. It's much more violent than the first movie. This is a darker movie. The traps are more violent. Kevin's going into an abandoned house that's supposed to have his other family. Where's the New York family? Why are they not in the house? And okay, that's convenient. And then he sets up all these traps, and they're even more so than the first movie.
Even the shocking part is about the
shocking with the skeleton.
When it turns out the sink was
right, and the sink into the skeleton.
Yeah, the jump cable.
Right.
It's reminds me the scene more about again Raiders of the Lost Ark about. Well, it'll be a funny part about that. Too bad Macaulay Culkin didn't do the the poster thing, except the Statue of Liberty part.
Yeah, and similar to the end of the first movie where the old man saves him, that pigeon lady also helps him at the end of the second movie.
Right, covered first. Actually, the Harry and Marv been covered a gooey thing about
right. Yeah.
But that she throws them the birds for birds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I as far as the sequels go, again, this is the last movie for me. Anything that happened after the second one didn't really happen. I thought that they spent a very limited time in Chicago. Outside of that musical play in the house, that's very brief. And then they after the airport, they go right into Florida and New York.
Yeah, separately.
Yeah.
And sometimes also about sometimes about even though how the Kevin, how the family knows they got heard the location that Kevin's in New York, about how they know they got a first place to go to the hotel, about that way, even though they have to make up, they sleep together like the house about.
Well, at one point about all that, his mom does go to the hotel, but by the time his mom gets to the hotel, he's no longer there.
Yeah, like even when they.
But then, yeah. But then when she knows that she likes that he likes that big Christmas tree, she knows how to find them at that Christmas tree.
Like a Rockefeller.
At the Rockefeller thing, yeah.
That's what I like about it. Even though sometimes a very very philosophical thing about Kevin McCarthy had no choice about to prevent the robbery, he has to break the window with a brick. About
yeah, he was saying like, "I'm sorry, I'm about to break this." Yeah.
That he has to pay for it for the damage.
Yeah, exactly. But he had to do that to get rid of the bad guys.
Anyhow. The actor has a toy store owner.
Yes.
He's one of the classic stars, like the one about from the back in the 40s.
Right, exactly. It was like that, yeah.
But they work together. He works also with Daniel Stern, when Daniel Stern acted and directed in that year after. They're called Rookie of the Year.
Oh, Rookie of the Year? Oh, nice. That's also cool. Everybody, speaking of which, in this podcast we're doing, I am wearing my movie director hat. Up there it says it. It says director right there, so there it is. Cool. Oh yeah, you want to see it? Okay. This is it says director here. Director on top of the hat, in the middle hat there. Yeah.
Well, if it's like a property brand about like who it belongs to.
I'm not sure. I think my dad found this hat for me somewhere off the ground, but yeah, my dad's not doing too well, and you said your dad is about Home Alone 1 and Hangover, so your dad's memorial will be included in those two movies, Home Alone 1 and Hangover. Your dad will be mentioned in memorial.
Okay. And so also another thing about like even like about this about Home Alone 2, they have something about the order cheese pizza. About, and it has the same thing about watching a cartoon Grinch.
Right, exactly. All those similar copies from the first movie with all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think he even, does he also have a pizza when he's in the taxi? I don't know. He was like in a taxi driving around. He had his dad's money and cards. He was just doing whatever. I'm like, I'm in New York. I'm going to use my dad's stuff.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to spend enough about spend anything so expensive. Because New York is a very expensive place to go to. Yeah, it is. Like, I remember when I go to the New York, like last year, for the trip to New York, where we had the, One World Center with the waiver. Right. I thought it's like a gift card. But you don't know what the price of receipt will be like. Right, exactly. So the beginning of this movie, they're at that airport. He gets separated from his family. What happened in that airport in 1992? We could get that could maybe kind of happen. But then if we're talking about real life, that kind of thing with the airport will never have happened after 9/11. Yeah, like separate flights? No, I mean about the kid getting that on the wrong track or the wrong thing. Well, that's very too difficult. Very unfortunate. Yes, very much so. Yeah, this movie, like I said, I liked it, but I thought the first one was better. I thought they did some fresh new type stuff with this while still doing some copies. To me, it's the only sequel that this series had. Nothing came after the second one. What do you like personally, for the first or the second? Do you like the first one better or the second one better? Well, the first one got me mixed feelings about something what I don't like about it. Well, what kind of mixed feelings do you have about the first one? Family rejection. Oh, okay. Well, he's kind of rejected in the family in the first one. Yeah, I see. It's like what Splinter says: all fathers care for their sons. That was the best version of Splinter in that first Turtles movie, yeah. Because that way, that's a good advice about if the child's being rejected or neglected, you have to go and follow into the back route. Yeah, I like references to Splinter. That was the best version of Splinter, how he looked and sounded in that one. And both Home Alone 1 and Turtles 1 came out that same year, 1990. Yeah. And by the way, everybody, if you're probably knowing and wondering, yes, we are doing Home Alone 1 right after this one. So hopefully, if you're enjoying our talk on Home Alone 2... By the way, one more thing. Sure. You know, one of the family member of the Home Alone and Home Alone 2, about the red-haired boy, he later is one of the stars of the Adventures of Pete and Pete, Nickelodeon series. Oh, yeah, I know which boy you're talking about. Yeah. He's the main boy in the... Yeah, I think I know which guy you're talking about there. right?
Yeah.
And so also about like but even though probably there's a difference is the Florida is very rainy season, but
Right.
New York is doesn't. Only just snow and
Yeah, that's true.
right. And so also about like another thing about like do you know who one also works at a hotel besides Rob Schneider and Tim Curry?
Who else?
The woman she's in is the same actress from the Addams Family. You know,
Oh yeah, she was in Adam's Family. Yeah, I know which woman you're talking about.
the one
Yeah.
is now she's engaged to cousin It.
Yeah, I know which part you're talking about. She was in that Adam stuff. We're just a little bit over 30 minutes in now. So at this point, any of the quotes you like from the movie? Can you say some of the quotes you liked?
Right, just a sec. Let me get the IMDb quote though.
Sure. Yeah, she was in the Adams Family. I loved Adams Family 1, and of course even more so Adams Family Values in '93.
All right.
All right, some quotes.
She's also, and she's what?
Some quotes you like from the movie.
All right. You was here last night too, was you? Because Serge said I was listening to that. Yes, sir, I was. You was here. You was smooching with my brother, Scotland Bears. I'm afraid you're mistaken, sir. Don't give me that. You've been smooching with everybody. It's nothing. Ow, Leo. The hippie leg, cheeks, bony, Bob, Cliff, and one of the other set members happens to be called Cliff. It says so on his name badge. You guys are looking. It's a lie. I could go on forever, baby.
that was a funny dialogue when that happened. Yeah. Yeah. That was nice.
You know, if it's they don't know if it's a fictional movie.
Right. Exactly.
They remember real movies.
Yeah, exactly. That was a good part. That was a good quote right there.
Yeah. The Cedric the Bellman says, "Do you know how the TV works? I'm 10 years old. TV's my life."
Oh yeah, I love what he said. Of course, TV's my life. I'm a little kid. All I do is watch television.
Because that's like a television. Like you can watch it before.
We have to remember this was like before the internet became prevalent. So before the internet, everybody was always watching television all the time.
Yeah. I think he wants like the streaming service. But
yeah, well, streaming is a newer thing for this century, but yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So here's a story about birthday and Kevin Costner. Kevin said, "Do you have 8 kids?" "No. Oh, I wanted it, but the man I love fell out of love with me. That broke my heart. And whenever the chance to be loved came along again, I ran away from it. I stopped trusting people. No offense, but that seems like sort of dumb thing to do. I was afraid of getting my heart broken again. You see, sometimes you can trust a person, and then when things are down, they forget about you. Maybe they're just too busy. Maybe they just don't forget about you. But they forget to remember you. I don't think people need to forget. I think it just happens. My grandfather says, if my head wasn't screwed on, I leave it on the school bus. I'm just afraid that if I do trust someone, I'll get my heart broken again. I understand that. I used to have this really nice pair of rollerblades. I was afraid if I wore them, I'd wreck them. So I kept them in a box. Do you know what happened? No. I outgrew them. I never wore them once outside. I just wore them in my room a whole couple of times. A person's heart, the person's feelings are very different than skates. Well, they're kind of the same thing. If you aren't going to use your heart, then what's the difference if it gets broken? If you just keep to yourself, it'll be like my rollerblades. When you do decide to try it, it won't be any good. You should take a chance. Got nothing to lose. A bit of truth in there somewhere. I think so. Your heart might still be broken, but it isn't gone. If it was gone, it would be this unnice. Thank you. Do you know what that it's been a couple years since I talked to anybody? That's okay. You're good at it. You're not boring. You don't mumble or spit when you talk. You should do it more often. I think you just have to wear an outfit that doesn't have the pigeon poop on it. I have been working very hard at keeping people away, haven't I? I'm always thinking I'll have a lot of fun if I'm alone. But when I'm alone, it isn't that much. I find it all. I don't care how much people bug me sometimes. Rather be with somebody than by myself. So what are you doing running around the streets on Christmas Eve on your own? Did you get into trouble? Yeah. You done something wrong? A lot of things. Do you know that good deeds erases the bad deeds? It's getting pretty late. I don't know if I'll have enough time to do all the good deeds I need to erase all the bad ones I did. Well, it's Christmas Eve. Good deeds count for extra tonight. They do. What? They do? Of course they do. So what you must do now is you must think of the most important thing that you can do for others and go and do it. Just follow the star in your heart. Okay, it's great. It's getting pretty late. I better get going. So if I don't see you, I hope everything turns out okay. Thank you. Say goodbye to your birds for me. I will.
Yeah, I didn't feel as connected to her as I did to the old guy from the...
Brenda Blethyn, about the actress who plays Bird Lady.
Yeah.
She won an Oscar for a role in 1989 movie called My Left Foot with Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's interesting that she did that there. That's interesting.
She plays the mother.
Oh, okay, that's interesting trivia right there also. Yeah, I didn't feel as connected to her as I did as the old guy from the first movie. But when you mentioned that whole bird pooping part, just to keep this current, as of today, today's date is... Wednesday, November 22nd. I was at the park earlier this afternoon, and right before another friend face video called me, a bird pooped right on my computer. A bird pooped right on my cell phone screen, like literally right before the call. And then I tried to see what that means, and it's apparently when a bird poops on you. Okay, the bird didn't poop on me. The bird pooped on the cell phone screen, but I think it still counts. That it's supposed to be good luck. So hopefully, I have a prosperous and contentment in a bird pooping on me or my stuff. So just to keep that current from today.
Here's a good quote about one of the last lines.
Let's do it.
Mr. McAllister's room service bills, sir. He hands Buzz the bill. Merry Christmas, sir. He hands out his hand for a tip, of which Buzz hands him gum. Nice family, really. It's just like he wants a gum about no tip.
Alright, there was different parts where at first he wanted money and he only gave the gum, and then when he finally wanted to give the money, I'm like, no, okay. Yeah.
It's like bribing the child.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Rob Schneider was good in this. He was alright.
Yeah. He mainly will mostly know does collaborate with all the Adam Sandler films.
Yeah, exactly.
And Buzz looks at the long room service bill worth over $967.
That was one of the last quotes at the end of the movie. Yeah, one at the end right there.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, one of the last quotes.
Kevin, you spent $967 on room service.
Yeah.
Just like that first movie, it's Kevin, what you did to my room?
Right, exactly. It's always the older brother saying that stuff.
Because the first movie about the one with the old man Marley and Kevin McAllister at the church, it's not in the script. It's actually the director's idea. He wants something to create something emotional. Well,
let's save the conversation of the old man and Kevin at the church for discussion on the first movie. But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, let's see. There's the Harry and Marv have arrived in New York City by stowing away in the fish truck. Here we are, Marv. New York City, the land of opportunity. Smell that? Oh, yeah. Smell that? Yeah. You know what that is? You know what that is? Fish. It's freedom. No, it's fish. It's freedom and it's money. Okay, it's freedom. Come on, let's get out of here before somebody sees us. And it's fish. It sounds like like an immigration.
Right, that's funny. Yeah, when they were all in New York outside there, what'd you say, immigration?
It's like a land of opportunity.
Oh, yeah. So, the one... Oh, nice. Yeah. Say it again?
It's like going immigration from another city it's like a land of opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity and that, yeah. So the one part, they're all walking outside. We got, this is where, at some point, I don't know if they already saw each other, but they're outside... They're outside walking, and Kevin like smacks the ass of that blonde pretty woman, and then she looks over and hits Marv.
Right. And that thing was a funny part they uses repeatedly about the traps, about the one about the trying to pay cancel window. That's when Harry Marv knew when something's coming. About that's two. That when it goes.
Oh, right, exactly.
Yeah. Expected a big pipe heading towards it. Oops.
Right, exactly.
3.
Yes. He thought it was this many, but then it was more than 2 to 4. Actually, yeah, I remember that part was interesting too. Speaking of which, that reminds me. When I was younger, I played the Home Alone 2 video game on whatever video game platform it was. Like, I gotta tell you, Home Alone 2...
Nintendo something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't forget what it was. Which one it was. Which platform. But like, Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, the video game, very, very difficult. A hard game to play.
Yes, it's not like the side-scrolling fighting game, like you play something like Mario.
No, fighting games are generally easier, but a game where you have to like whatever things aren't related to
cards and
whatever it is, like when things aren't related to fighting, it's a lot more difficult, a lot tougher to do.
Yeah, it's just like it's very hard about playing video games for Christmas. The related with Christmas. But I thought something you don't want to make a. We haven't heard anything about any more video games based on the film media franchise.
Which film franchise?
Like you want to make video games based on the Avatar, the James Cameron Avatar, or something like why don't you make video games based on a true story?
Right, yeah. I mean, James Cameron with Avatar, my thing about that is, like, I think he's directing Avatar 3. I don't know about anything after that, but, like, honestly, I would really like to see him be the director of an actual worthwhile, worthy Terminator movie.
Like, you know, if a video game based on adaptation, they did a video game version of Batman Begins, but never they cannot make a Dark Knight video game.
They did do a video game for Batman Begins, but because of different reasons and matters of whatever the reason, the Dark Knight video game never happened.
Yeah, only they did for the Batman Arkham series.
What happened in the Arkham series?
They had to do only the backup Arkham series, not related with all the Christopher Nolan's permission.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, thankfully, Heath Ledger filmed all his scenes for The Dark Knight before he passed, but he just didn't film everything for the movie after that. But I really like his presence and his performance in The Dark Knight. So, yeah, we could definitely talk about The Dark Knight sometime in some way.
Kevin because the other roles, after the first Home Alone, he has his own cartoon show voicing himself called Wish Kid.
What's it called?
Wish Kid.
A Wish Kid. I'm not familiar with that one.
I remember I saw that when I was young. I used to go stay up a little later, watch a late night cartoon show.
Okay. What do you make of him as an adult? Like what do you think of Macaulay Culkin now that he's an adult?
Well, sometimes he's like a party monster. Like
yeah, the party monster was like 2003.
I know, but now he sounds like sometimes very too thin looking guy.
Oh, he looks too thin looking.
Well,
Okay.
now he has his brother that has the same thing as the same film. You know, like in Home Alone. You know, what's his name about the Macaulay Culkin's brother, Kieran Culkin?
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, he's in 1 and 2 also with his movie somewhere in there. I believe I saw.
Now recently he becomes very popular in Succession.
Oh, the Succession also there. Okay. Well, I was reading the Home Alone 2 page before we started, and it said that the guy you just mentioned, the other Culkin, wears a He talked to the old guy in the first movie about a kid got something for some sort of pajamas. The other Culkin wears pajamas at the end of Home Alone 2.
Pajamas?
The pajamas, yeah, he wears pajamas. At the end of Home Alone 2, the other Culkin guy.
Yeah. Well, there's other Culkin kids that want to do movie acting, like even one with Rory Culkin.
Oh, okay, yeah, so I'm talking, yeah, all the Culkins there, yeah.
Culkin's in the You Could Count on Me and M. Night Shyamalan Signs.
Right, I know about Signs. The Signs I saw in. Signs was an alright movie, which also had Joaquin Phoenix, who became the Joker. All those connections.
Now recently, Joaquin Phoenix, now he stars in the Ridley Scott movie, Napoleon.
Oh, yeah, I saw the previews for the Napoleon thing, yeah.
Right. So back with the Culkin?
Yeah, anything else you wanted to say about the Culkins?
Well, sometimes, like, even I can't tell about, like, even though sometimes they have to go separate times, but even though Kieran Culkin's now most of the major label success, like, just like the Alec Baldwin has his two...
Right, the brothers also, yeah. So listen...
Alec Baldwin is very, very successful.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we're now a little bit more after 43 minutes in. So before we finish up, Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Is there anything else you wanted to say about Home Alone 2 Lost in New York?
Well, don't spend too much anything in New York. Check the receipt first.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he spent so much money, so much of his dad's money on that trip.
Yeah. Even sometimes, like, make sure about you can watch everything. Good skylights. A good scene about where the city lights up, and that leaves only one big tree that's lights up in the middle of New York.
Right, you were talking about skating earlier. There was the one scene in New York where Marv and Harry are in the skating thing there.
Yeah. Even they have it good about, like, some of they plan to take something away.
Yeah, they took somebody away thing, yeah. We're 44 minutes in, so 44 minutes in. Final thoughts and opinion on Home Alone 2 and how you would grate the movie.
Well, final thoughts and opinion, like, sometimes don't think about the families for rejecting you. Just think about have a good time of like.
Well, to be fair, at the beginning of the second movie, they did try to make sure that they stayed with him this time.
Yeah, but even though sometimes like I thought they wanted to make a family do comeuppance. So
Right, the comeuppance, yeah. Well, like you said, I like the whole thing with the brother and the dad about the end about, hey, how much money did you spend and all this, and the whole thing, like we said, with
$967.
yeah, that with the money, and the thing with Schneider, and like now he's actually going to be given money instead of the other thing, and it's like it's got a lot of funny stuff. It's got, like you said, a lot of callbacks, a lot of copies from the first movie, but there's enough fresh or new with it to be also somewhat newer than what the first movie did. And this second movie is 20 minutes longer than the first movie.
And that movie, a Christmas movie, is very darker than Home Alone 2.
Yeah, it's much darker, much darker.
Same year as Home Alone 2 is a sequel, Batman Returns. It takes place at Christmas, but more darker.
Yeah, for sure. And we did a Batman Returns podcast on the original Spotify if you guys want to check that out. Both movies definitely darker. And this movie's 20 minutes longer than the first movie. The first movie, Home Alone 1, was 1 hour 40, 1 hour 40, 1 hour 41, but this second movie's 2 hours. So a whole 20 minutes longer than the first movie.
Yeah, not like an post-credit scene about.
No, I mean, there were post credits in movies way before these Millennial movies, but then became way more prevalent, even more so with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and also, of course, the post credit that's most well known, which if you're the movie that you like, at the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, saying that Ferris Bueller's, yeah. So all that, I think that connects again to John Hughes, maybe.
I don't like Matthew Broderick. I thought someday what Matthew Broderick could play as a villain, and Tom Cruise would face off against him. You know. Like,
wait, what was this? What was this?
Matthew Broderick and Tom Cruise. So I thought they'd be like a good sign that they had to face off together.
Wait, they never did. Did they ever do a face off together or no?
No, they never get share on screen. They mostly have in common about Ferris Bueller's for Matthew Broderick. And Tom Cruise like risky business.
Oh, okay. Now, were you talking about Jim Carrey earlier?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because Jim Carrey and Broderick are connected in that Cable Guy movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which was directed by Ben Stiller. So, guys, coming up after Home Alone 1, after Home Alone 1 is done, we're going to be talking about Ben Stiller's Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah, that's the Tropic Thunder's coming up.
Yeah. Now, how would you grade this movie? What letter grade would you give Home Alone 2?
C.
A C? A C is a C is a fair movie. It's definitely more like a C type stuff. I would either give it a C plus or a B minus.
Oh well, even though that's good time about the, even though sometimes it's very hard for me not to watch any of that non-Jewish religious movie, but
yeah. So yeah, are you okay that we're talking about Home Alone stuff? Because I know it's not Jewish, but
I'm okay with it. Like I like to do like a family type of I'm facing now. If you're all by yourself, I'm facing I'm mature now, but to handle the house.
You're definitely mature now. You're a mature adult. So definitely enjoy the movie trivia thing I got you.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't very complete, the movie trivia wasn't very complete. So they didn't say anything about the more comedy, any more kids movie besides E.T.
Hopefully too much wasn't missing from it.
Yeah. Anyhow, but even though Macaulay Culkin, one more thing Macaulay Culkin is in that same year as Home Alone, he does make a briefly uncredited appearance as Tim Robbins' sons in Jacob's Ladder.
And Jacob's Ladder came out in what, 91 or 90?
90, same
what
year.
Does he play? He plays what to him, Tim Robbins?
Tim Robbins' son.
Oh, okay. Deceased son. The only thing I know Tim Robbins from is Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption, and as the President of the United States in Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
And also, he's in also the Clint Eastwood Mystic River. I
didn't see Mystic River, but I'm familiar with it. Mystic River.
He's in the two Tom Cruise movies, Top Gun and also like War of the Worlds.
He was in Top Gun and War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I just know that Mystic River came out in 2003, and that at least at the time of this recording, Clint Eastwood is still alive at 93.
Yeah, it's just even though it's like it already passes over his career,
right,
for a director.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think we got a whole large amount of content here. Hopefully, neat, terrific content for Home Alone 2. We're almost about to reach 50 minutes in. We're 49 minutes in, so this is going to be one of our longer ones. But I can't wait to see you to talk more next about the original classic that made this movie possible, Home Alone 1, which is coming up next.
All right. Because of connection about Home Alone and the Harry
Sure.
Potter movie.
Sure.
It's besides the director, the Chris Columbus, because the Home Alone and the Harry Potter, it's about the both boys had both lead actor Macaulay Culkin and Daniel Radcliffe. Both wear the same clothing as in the first end of the first movie, like red sweater and the beige pants.
That's interesting. That's interesting there. All right.
That sounds like if Macaulay Culkin looks very similar like Draco Malfoy.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Who's Jake Floyd Mallet?
Draco Malfoy,
Yeah.
a big bully in Harry Potter.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're talking about maybe bringing Harry Potter back. I'm not really into Harry Potter, but if any of the audience is, you should check out Avi talking about Harry Potter in the March 2023 section of the Spotify podcasts. All right, thanks for coming on with me. We got a good content here with all that, and I can't wait to talk with you about the first one soon, and then followed by Tropic Thunder with Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Well, Tom Cruise. No, actually, it's Ben Stiller, but Tom Cruise. Well, we'll get to it all. Well, you know what I mean.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks anyhow.
Thank you.
One more thing about
sure.
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise stars with another actor who also appears in the Home Alone. About the one that plays the uncle in the Uncle Frank in Home Alone, the Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
He works with Tom Cruise before in the Cocktail.
Who did he play in Cocktail?
He plays one of the customer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I have to rewatch Cocktail because I just like watching that because of Elizabeth Shue. Yeah. Okay. So he plays a part in that, but is also the uncle in the Home Alone movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Thanks again for doing this with me today.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, and keep the F-bomb inside of planes, trains, and automobiles. Don't censor stuff. Don't cut things out.
Even it says the movie's rated R, but I thought they should be making something.
The reason it was rated R was for that one F-bomb.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. So no. Keep the F-bombs. Keep the nudity, and do not take Trump out of the hotel scene.
And I was thinking about this in the 80s. There's some movie that has the F word, but it's rated PG. Like the one about in Beetlejuice. It's rated PG, but Beetlejuice says the F word. Like the nice fucking model when you honk his crotch.
I guess some for whatever reason, some PG and some PG-13 movies do have that in there.
Yeah, and also the one with about the movie Big.
Oh right, sure, and Big also, yeah.
It's rated PG, but one boy says the F word.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, keep the F words in movies. Don't censor and cut stuff out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Very cool. Very nice. All right. Awesome. Can't wait to talk with you again and enjoy your Thanksgiving.
All right. Thank you. Have a good holiday.
You too.
Well, see you
have a good holiday. Talk to you soon.
Soon.
Okay. Everybody, support your local movie theater throughout the decade of the 2030s, which is coming up very, very quickly. To see movies on the big silver screen with a bunch of community of strangers, it's an experience like no other that you can only get in a dark room, wherever your local movie theater is. Because streaming movies online at home or watching movies, especially streaming movies online at home, is just not the same thing at all, and we want to keep the movie theaters in business from the decades to come. Everybody dance and have a good time. One more time. Everybody dance and have a good time. This is friend and co-host Avi and Millennial Man Motions Entertainment, LLC, signing out till Home Alone 1, 1990. Da-na, 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 da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.